Hey everyone, it's been a minute. Was planning on doing this live, but it's been so long, the thing doesn't recognize me. So I thought, well, you know what? I was planning on it anyway, so let me just go ahead and start hitting record and seeing what happens. Ironically, I'm not very good at recording video. I can do the live stream fairly well, but I think it's the lack of response that you get on just a video when you can't actually see how people are reacting or what's on people's minds. I like it to be more of a conversation, and the just talking head video has just never been my thing. This morning I was in my studio. I was working, trying to get some things together. We're actually about to go on a trip, my family and I, heading out to the UK. First time bringing the kids along on an international trip, so it's a big deal. It's gonna be a lot of fun, going to Edinburgh and London, all kinds of places. And anyway, so just trying to cram work in before we head out. And I hear this noise come from upstairs, this whining, billowing sound I've never heard before. It's from my dog. I recognize that, but I've never heard her made anything like this before. I hear my oldest call up that something's wrong with Isley. She's breathing hard and she's not moving. She's 11 years old. Tons of energy. Everybody always says whenever they go in for the checkup, it's always like, oh, she acts just like a puppy. Just tons of energy. Super healthy. But she was lying there, wasn't moving her body at all. I was checking her, pressing up on her, trying to figure out, is she injured or something of that nature? Is she trying to protect anything? But no, her body was very limp. But she was breathing really, really hard. And so I picked her up and I brought her downstairs. And even the way, because I've carried that dog so many times for so many reasons, and just the way that she was just limp in my arms was just so foreign. You know what I mean? Just so bizarre. I placed her back on the ground on the first floor. And, now she's kind of on her tummy a little bit, and she's just breathing, her tongue's hanging out of her mouth. And I realize, tongue hanging out of your mouth, that's like a dog thing, but it wasn't an Isley thing. It wasn't an Isley thing. It's not something she did. And so, we call her doctor, and they tell us, look, we can bring her in, and we can triage her, but from what you're saying, you probably need to take her to the emergency room. So they send us to the emergency room. And as I'm kind of getting all this stuff together, the dog starts getting up and hobbling. She's just wobbling on her legs, just suffering trying to walk. It's so bizarre. And she started moving towards the back door, the back patio. And I opened the door, and then she collapses before she gets there. And so I realized she wants to go outside. And so I opened the door for her, and the kids are a little worried because, obviously you can kind of see it in the video. We got a pool, and they're like, she's gonna fall in the pool. I'm like, that's not a dog looking to get in the pool. I don't she wants to be outside. And I open the door, and she hobbles. She gets back up. She just hobbles and just forces her little body out on the back patio and we got a little stretch of flowers and trees and whatnot. And she just collapses right there, and she's just breathing hard. She's just breathing hard. Breathing real hard. And get the kids together and get loaded up in the car. I come out, I pick her up and put her in the back seat. And we get, we drive. We've never been to this, pet ER before. And I'm like a block away, and I get pulled over by a cop. I'm like, and in hindsight, I'm like, why did I even stop? Why did I even stop? Because we were right there for one thing. We could have made it all the way through, and you're just in panic mode. You're not thinking. And the cop takes one look into the car, sees the two crying children, the dog that's over there having a seizure or a stroke. And, you know, I explained to him the situation. He's immediately like, okay, go, go. And so he escorts us there. And the funny thing is, in that moment, I'm thinking, well, now I'm driving without my license because I gave my license to the cop. But we drive up to the ER and, you know, get out of the car, get the dog, pick her up, bring her in, tell the people behind the desk what's going on. And she's just fighting to breathe. And somebody comes to take her, and like even like the way her head goes into this guy's arm, it's just not right. So I quickly like grab her and I try to adjust it so that she'd be more comfortable. Y'all, the second that door closed, she was gone. I had to go out there and talk to the cop. He wrote me a warning, which was kind, all things considered. I don't even know what I did, to be honest with you. And it was a very surreal experience because he was sitting in his car writing me up a ticket while I was standing outside his window to receive the ticket. Again, it's very kind of him just to give me a warning and to give us a little bit of an escort and everything else. I get back in, and that's when I find out that the dog passed and the children are distraught. My wife was with us as well, so she was trying to comfort them. It all happened so fast. Like, just so fast. She was fine. Like, last night, we did something. We don't normally take, like, a full family walk at night with the dog, but we did last night. And it's not because something was off or anything like that. And even last night, Isley got up in the bed with us. We never let her in the bed with us. It was like midnight or something, and I was like, what? You know, I looked down, I'm like, Isley, you know, get out. And she wasn't leaving. She's like, no, I'm going to sleep here. And I was like, you know what, I'm so tired. Yeah, you go for it. You sleep right there. And I'm so glad I did not kick that dog out of our bed last night. It happened so fast, y'all. It's crazy. I thought about this. I was like, you know, that's the way I want to go, to be honest with you. She was so healthy. She had so much life. She was just full of life. And then it just happened so fast. And she was surrounded by all the people that loved her most. And it wasn't this long, drawn-out thing. It was just so fast. I'm still reeling, to be honest. Like, it's one of those situations where it's kind of like, you know, I was cleaning the dinner table, and typically when there's extra water left in somebody's cup, I put it in the dog dish because everybody always forgets to give the dog water, except for me. But of course, that's gone. And I'm so grateful that it was now, because like I said, we're about to be out of the country, and I don't even like, she would have been alone, you know, if this had happened like 2 days from now, 3 days from now, or whenever. Then get home, finish up work, try to comfort the children as best I can. I'd promised my oldest I'd take her to the Superman movie. Y'all, if you hadn't seen that movie, look, different generations are going to have different opinions on Superman in terms of who their Superman. For me, I was brought up on Smallville. Tom Welling's my Superman. But I got to tell you, this felt like a really strong spiritual successor to Smallville, and I appreciated that. A lot of locations even were the same ones they used, and it was great. But man, oh man, that movie is about a boy and his dog. I cried like 2 or 3 times in that movie because it's about a boy and his dog. And Crypto was a bad dog. He was kind of like our first dog that we ever tried to have, which was Gibbs. We had Gibbs for 6 months and then had to find Gibbs a home that was more equipped to deal with him. Isley was a good dog. She was a real good dog. There's not going to be another one like her. I mean, there will be other dogs. We're too messy of a family to not have a dog. I don't know how I'm going to cook. I don't even know how I'm going to cook without Isley. Because, like, I make such a mess, and she would clean it all up. There's this picture of Thanksgiving COVID year. And since we couldn't be with the extended family, we went down to Surfside Beach here. And I made some gumbo. And there's this picture of me. I'm just standing there barefoot in this little tiny kitchen. And this kind of rundown little... Not even it's not a beach house. It was like a shack, like a fishing shack type situation. And I'm standing there barefoot with my apron on and my gumbo. And that dog's right there on the floor just looking up at me, waiting for me to spill something. Country Squire Radio listeners, if y'all been with us since back in the day, for those of you that were, you know I spill stuff all the time. She was the beneficiary of that for a long time. Y'all, I'm smoking some Sleepy Hollow. I found this. I was actually just telling somebody how much I've been craving some Sleepy Hollow, and I was worried. I didn't know where I was going to get some. And then I went back into the cellar, and I was like, oh, I got a whole giant jar of it. That made me so happy. Made me so happy to find that. It's the Country Squire Cobb from Missouri Meerschaum. If you want to hear a little bit more about that, check out the Pipes Magazine podcast, where I am going to be a guest this week with Brian Lavine. I was very grateful. He reached out to me a couple days ago to have me on, and I sat down and recorded with him about 2 or 3 days ago. I'm pairing all this with some Lagavulin Offerman Edition Charred Oak Cask. My dog died at 11 years of age, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to drink an 11-year-old scotch, which is kind of an odd year. You don't see that many 11-year-old scotches, but right there. So I was like, hey, I got it. To Isley. Oh. Tasty scotch for a good dog. I've been meaning to do this anyway for a while. For a number of reasons, honestly. You know, got this trip coming up, wanted to ask for advice on where to go in the UK, bringing my pipes, and it's been years since I've been there, so I don't know what's good these days, and would love some advice. I say it's been years since, but I've been to London years ago. Went to Dublin a year or so ago. I can't remember if that was last year or the year before that. But obviously, Ireland's not in the UK, but went to Northern Ireland as well. But I really wanted to tell you about this project I've been working on, which is an immersive theater project. If you listened to us back in the day, you may have heard me mention that I fell in love with immersive theater back in 2018. Wrote a play in about 2018, 2019, and tried to make it happen in late 2019. Decided wasn't the right time. COVID confirmed it definitely wasn't. And for the last 2-3 years, we've been trying to make it happen again. Finally got everything, all our ducks in order, and it is happening this October. I will officially be a playwright by the end of the year. I guess I've written the play, but it'll be something that's produced and whatnot. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. This is a problem when I smoke and talk, is I keep on having to relight. This is good scotch and this is good tobacco. They don't go well together, though. I will say that. Midnight HTX, midnighthtx.com. That's the website to go to if you want to learn a little bit more about the play. We're doing kind of a fun ARG in the style of I Heart Bees or Why So Serious, that sort of thing. It's kind of a promotional deal. We've got a little Substack that's out right now with kind of some lore drops and some hidden messages and puzzles. And come August, we'll be doing kind of a cool thing around town. If I can, I might pop on and share a little bit more about that. But y'all check that out. If you go to midnighthtx.com, that's the website for the play. Follow our Instagram. It's got the links to the Substack that has kind of the ARG on it as well. I got this character that I really wanted to be able to smoke a pipe in the play, but the venue wouldn't allow us to do it, so we're not going to be able to do that. But this is bounty hunter named Mercy, and kind of all black. We're in all black, and is kind of like a secret character in the play itself. I mean, obviously the character's there, you see them, but like there's more to this character than meets the eye. There's more to all the characters than meets the eye, but that one in particular is like kind of a puppet master of sorts throughout. We have this concept of kind of a VIP ticket that we're going to offer where people can enter into the experience 30 minutes early and go and sit and play poker with Mercy, our bounty hunter. Have a drink, and it's pretty cool. Oh, speaking of which, we got a liquor sponsor, Milam and Green. They're going to be providing our spirits and whiskeys and whatnot. We've got St. Arnold's Brewing Company, which is the a local distillery there, or local, not distillery, but local brewery here. They're doing our beer, which is kind of cool. And yeah, some great venues that have gotten behind it, and it's just been so great to see it come together. Our cast is phenomenal. If you go to the website, you can actually see a little footage kind of behind the logo that we shot with the cast, all in costume, and it's a cool thing. It's a cool thing. So anyway, yeah, been busy. A lot going on, and you know, the shock of this morning with losing the dog when we did it, right in the middle of like such a busy season, busy professionally, busy personally, and everything else. I was telling the girls, you know, death is a natural part of life, and life is for the living. And you know, we're a family in grief, a family in mourning. But you know, I got that, got those New Orleans roots, right? So I mean, the reality is we celebrate life, we party, and we keep the spirit of the ones that we lost alive with us. And yeah, even a dog. Of course, even a dog. That dog was family for us. We got that dog right after my youngest was born. She, like, that we were looking at videos today. She helped us raise these kids, man. My when we went to go pick her up for the first time. I say pick her up. I guess it was technically the first meet and greet because she was a rescue. My youngest was in a little car seat bassinet, and Isley goes over and she's sniffing the bassinet and everything, and she says, and my oldest, who was like 2 at the time, kind of waddles over and she says, "Hey, don't touch my sister, dog." And she never would. I mean, like, you know, obviously she licked her little face, and she was always so very gentle with her. You know, like I said, she was a rescue, but she was always so very gentle. She was a really good dog. Anyway, I wanted to share a little bit about life in general with what was going on with y'all, and that was kind of the extra push. I'm like, well, I need to process this a little bit out loud, and you know, if anybody's gonna understand, it's the Country Squire radio audience. So it's been a minute. Hope y'all are doing well. It's been goodness gracious. It's been a couple of years since I think I popped on this thing. Love to do it more. Like I said, been gone so long, the thing had me locked out. Hopefully this video actually makes it up, especially since it's about 20 minutes at this point. Um, yeah, yeah. I think that's about it. Y'all have a good night. See you.